What's going on? This is 1407 Gray Malkin Lane, the living memory of the X-Men. Don't let anyone tell you different. I'm here with my man MJ. We are going to be talking X-Men this week. We had a lot. First of all, how you doing, man? How's it going? How's everything?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm
Yeah.
doing good. Very well. Got a
Okay.
good week here.
Nice. Now you looking spiffy. You looking
I
all nice. Got the hair. You know.
I'm trying to grow my hair. I'm trying to grow it out, but it's at like an awkward stage where it just like doesn't do anything well.
Oh God, that's whack. Um, Now, so we got Marauders, we have Judgment Day, we also got the reveal of SOS, the Sins of Sinister. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, so, wait, I don't think I read Sins of Sinister.
Oh
Oh, you mean
no! It was just released. Like it's not a book. They're
the
promoting
theories of
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. That sounds really cool. So let's go probably Marauders first, I guess.
Okay. All right. We got Marauders. Um, I like Steven Orlando. He's okay.
Yeah.
Like I I do like the fact that he's showing that Xavier is a good father,
Very good. This is the best light we have seen Xavier in a long time.
right? And it's
And
not
he's
something.
calling her his daughter. And from my understanding, they've never met.
Yeah,
When he
exactly.
told
He's
it,
never met her. Yeah,
and
yeah. It was like they took the egg. Well, because they've confirmed that the Shi'ar lay eggs, so they just no, or they saved his sperm or something. They needed. They're like, okay, we have our eggs. We just like.
it's a little confusing, but
Yeah,
somehow
no,
they
they're
managed
birds.
it.
That's the only way I could. That's the only way I could like
Yeah,
imagine. The Shi'ar are birds,
she
but
might have been grown in like a tube or something. I know
yeah,
they're
she was
normally
an
they're
egg
from the.
though. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But I love that even he considers her his daughter, even though he never really met and whatnot. He's proud of her.
yeah,
Um, it's good. It's good for Xavier.
yeah, good. I like it. So, um, I love this fight between Exodus and Holocaust. All right, if you get the chance, read the original because it was epic. I was a kid reading this. I'm like, this is huge. Like,
So one thing that confused me is Holocaust always that big?
yes, he's always that big. And then,
Because
but
they
like,
implied that
that's
he
a
killed
suit
Nova.
though. He seems bigger because he's in a suit. Like,
Right, but they imply he killed Nova, Xavier's sister, and then he swells up, and then when they drain her, I, I'm a little confused with that. Like, right? Because they imply he killed her, and like he got all big. I didn't know if he was always that big. Because didn't he like shrink down in size at the end of the comic?
uh, okay, I'm looking at it. Oh well, yeah. The suit that he's in is big. Think like Juggernaut big, and that he's always. It may have gotten a little bit bigger, but like not much.
Swells. Maybe it swells up with like psionic energy he
Right.
absorbs.
Right. Yeah, because he's basically Chamber. Like he's just like,
Oh. Oh, that's
oh
not real. Like even like the brain inside like the skull, like that's all like
yeah,
psionically
that's
projected.
all him. He's
Oh,
not
okay.
dead. He's a living telepath ghost.
And who's his parentage again? They said like apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Apoc which actually it makes a lot of sense because Chamber is one of Apocalypse's like descendants.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, go back and read like New X-Men.
Oh,
Um
I remember the chamber connection. You told me that before, but
yeah,
now I'm seeing like yeah, somewhere in his genetics is that predisposition to that power. And is this not a
burning
retcon
yourself.
though for Nemesis?
Huh?
Is this not a retcon for Nemesis that he's a child of Apocalypse?
No, this is always the thing.
Oh, it's always been the case.
See, when Nemesis first appeared back in Age of Apocalypse, he crossed over to our timeline because after the X-Men and their allies like just they undo they did a Back to the Future,
Mm.
and so everything's back to normal. But like in the middle of like everything changing, Nemesis, X-Man, Sugar Man, Dark Beast. Oh my! If you ever get a chance, look up Dark Beast. That guy's a motherfucker.
I've seen lots of him. He's awesome.
He's awesome. I would love to see what he be doing right now.
I've,
Like,
it was the biggest theory in the original House of X. The biggest theory was he was that Beast, but Xavier didn't resurrect Beast. He resurrected Dark Beast.
or check this out. How about this? What if Dark Beast killed Hank McCoy and impersonated him?
I love it.
No, because like this would be the second time this happened, and nobody noticed. That's funny.
At this point, I think it's more that this Hank McCoy is becoming a different version of a Dark Beast.
Yeah, he's doing everything for the right reasons. He's not being arrogant about it. He's not. Well, they kind of make it seem like he's like he doesn't care about human life.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far. He's accepting human casualties.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't think he wants the extinction of the human race. He's has a job to get done.
Right.
You know?
He's like Captain America or Nick Fury.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I'm so interested. I'm a little disappointed. Not that I'm trying to skip to the next comic, but in the next comic, they have the judgments of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
We were promised the X-Men were going to get judged first. That's what he says. We're going to judge the X-Men first. That's what the Celestial said, I believe. But they haven't really. He judged Captain America first. We're not getting into that, but
yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I forgot about
curious to what. So who are we talking about right now? Fuck,
Marauders. We're just talking about like. I'm really digging this team though. What do you think about the team?
Oh, I love them. Well, it's a little hamstringed with Psylocke on it. I don't think she's needed. But yeah, I love the team. I hope we get more space stuff. I don't know if we're gonna get more space. The Marauders are like they go find lost mutants, and now they're not done yet. They have to find a way to like bring back this mutant. They're gonna need some type of technology.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The one at the end.
A little disappointing.
Cerebra, but that was
no. So Cerebra, we don't know how she's coming back in time, or we don't know how she's involved at all. She's probably coming back in time from 2099, or she's just spawning on this timeline in some new way. But what I'm talking about is the person in the time drive from 2 billion BC.
Right. The one with all the mute. Yeah.
That one's supposed to have one mutant in it from 2 billion years ago. They're calling him the survivor of Threshold.
Right.
That implies one person, which I'm disappointed at. We were promised a bunch. That they've multiple times said the survivors and the first generation, which implies multiple.
Right.
But now it seems like no, they're hamming themselves with one person in the time drive. At some point, we're gonna get that person released. But what's interesting though is it might be a time traveler. Like it might be Kate Bishop.
No,
Kate Bishop.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kate.
Krakoa might have went back in time.
Oh wait, no, they did. No, I'm sorry. They got her back.
Krakoa might have went back in time to 2 billion years ago and established Threshold.
Yeah, I could see that.
And if that's the case, the survivor of Threshold could be Wolverine, could be Kid Omega, could be Kate Bishop. No, not Kate Bishop. I don't know what her name is.
What did you think about this callback at near the end where the Fang, where Dakin acquired the Fang. Like Wolverine kind of stole it, but like now Dakin or Akiro, he's earned it. Like he's done something his father couldn't do.
It's actually one of the few old panels I've read. I've actually read that old comic. And it's kind of a throwaway thing. It never went anywhere. It never really meant much. Wolverine almost immediately throws away the Fang outfit. He just adopts the yellow.
Right.
But he almost immediately throws away that outfit and makes his own outfit with the color yellow.
Right.
But it is a big thing that's where he got yellow from. Originally, it was yellow because he wanted to be the target. He wanted everyone to target him first, and they retcon it being the Shi'ar lupus colors, which is cool. Do you think Dakin's gonna take on the name Fang?
I could see it. It fit him better.
He
I
needs a
mean,
name.
like nobody likes the. Apparently, it's bad to say Dakin. So, but okay, fine. Change the name. I don't care. I mean, like I
Well, they
didn't
need the idea is that mutants have mutant names. What is his mutant name? Is it Dakin?
his mutant name was Dakin, but he can
What
change.
is it, Japanese or something? Is that Japanese?
I think it's like a racial epithet. I'm going to look it up.
Or maybe it's Japanese for wolf. I don't know.
All right, Dakin means. Come on. Okay, in Japanese it means mongrel or cur. It means like you're calling somebody a dirty dog.
Like a barbarian.
Yes.
A savage. A feral.
Fang. It
Yeah.
fits.
Now that I know Dakin is Japanese for something, I want him to keep Dakin. Yeah, Dakin's his mutant name for sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
Like, all right, here's something I always wanted to see. Like, I wanted to see Dakin and young Cable hang out. Because think about it. Both, like, their dads low key kind of hated each other. Well, imagine if they were like best friends. Like, young Cable looked up to Dakin.
Where have I seen that preview? That not with Dakin. He's going to be hanging out with James Proudstar.
Oh yeah, X-Men Red.
Is it X-Men Red?
Well, that's the only one I know.
Apparently, Dakin is going to be on a mission with James Proudstar.
Cool.
Not Thunderbird. The younger one.
Warpath. Yeah,
Warpath. Kind of a similar-ish thing. Similar, not
they're different. No, I say like I would
yeah,
say
you want father issues.
His ass. Warpath whoop his ass. The only like because like Warpath has more experience. He's stronger. He can fly. Like
it depends if Dakin has adamantium or not. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he doesn't.
Very true. Very true. I liked Marauders. It was dope. It was cool.
It was a good one. I'm a little curious where they're going from now. I want more space because they have a spaceship.
Right.
But like mutants, their whole idea is saving mutants. So like there are some mutants in the galaxy they could go save, but Earth has a lot of mutants that need saving. So
there you go. All right, so SOS. All right, so basically, according to CBR, Sins of Sinister is supposed to be the where Sinister wins. They're kind of teasing it's going to be like a Sinister version of Age of Apocalypse.
Well, it's confusing because I read the article and it implies that they throw him in the pit to prevent him from restarting the universe. So they know the Quiet Council finds out that he has Moira copies.
Yep.
But then he wins. So yeah, I guess he becomes King of Hell, and somehow that helps him win. Or the Quiet Council doesn't know that you can't go to the pit no more. Basically, the pit might be like you go in the pit and you're immediately ejected out because Krakoa. We learned in Sabretooth that Krakoa refuses anyone ever being in the pit again. It has too much effect on Krakoa as a whole. It's affecting his psyche.
I get that. I get that.
They literally Sabretooth literally created a hell realm inside of Krakoa's mental state, and he hates it. And so he's like, no more. He's like, no one's ever going inside of this hellscape ever again.
Absolutely, I get that. Yeah, but now we got but now Sabretooth and the Exiles. That does not sound pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Sabretooth, Like Sabretooth to me is kind of like the Eric Cartman of the of the X-Men.
Who is,
He's dangerous.
who is that?
Sabretooth is dangerous, but like really, he's so goddamn stupid. It's unbelievable.
Well, he's smart now that he has the council going on in his mind, which I
No,
don't understand.
he's
How he
always
still
been
has
that
it.
way though. Like, I mean, he's always been that guy. He's always been capable of pulling off a really cunning plan. It's just most of the time he's just stupid.
Yeah, he's still going to be stupid. I feel like the feral instinct inside that council is the most powerful one. It kind of has like the last say.
Right.
Um,
What's up, Cory? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man.
I'm fine.
Cool. All right, so we
We're
were just
talking
talking.
about Sins of Sinister.
Oh yeah,
And what we think it might be. I'm a little up. I'm not. I don't really love the idea of Sinister winning like a whole series about that because we already kind of have that going on. I kind of want to move past that. When we got rid of Moira, I thought we finally cemented, actual stakes. But now we have Sinister, so I'm a little worried about it.
Oh,
Apparently,
we
he
know
didn't do
he
a
has
crime.
clones of Moira
right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And the council's gonna say, we put you in timeout for 5 goddamn minutes. And now we just unearthed this. Good God.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I'm gonna send you the. I'm gonna send you the thing, the announcement.
I
I
saw
think I read it. It looks really good, and I'm hyped for it. It's just that I don't like the idea of Moira to begin with, and then it was worse that now Sinister has it. Sinister is now Moira. He has that ability to reset the universe at a whim, and it makes you don't have any stakes. And it means that everyone in the Quiet Council is playing 5 steps behind him, and it's not what I wanted.
Wait. I have a question, real quick. All right, so Moira is now essentially a robot, right?
yeah, an
Okay.
Omega Sentinel.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know that Sinister has clones of her. So if she was to die, she's gone. So what if the council put together X-Force and said, okay, your job is to take out Moira through any means. It's like, oh, what about her turning herself back? We already taken care of that. Take out Moira. You take out a villain. Because there are other Moira clones.
I'm confused. What are you asking here?
No, I mean, like, could they do that?
Someone would make Charles go, but no, she's still in there.
No, I'm yeah.
The Quiet Council never votes unanimously on anything, and they've proven themselves to make really bad decisions. So yeah, they would vote on that.
Who would go with where though? I think Destiny would be for it, Mystique would be for it, Exodus would be for it, Shaw would be for it.
Probably none of the original X-Men. Well,
maybe Storm. I think Storm would be for it.
Depends. We didn't really get Storm's reaction to the whole curing mutants. We just know their aftermath, and she's like just looked, cold. She didn't look mad, but
wait,
we don't know the reaction.
Also, like, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Have you guys always noticed that anytime they have like a really horrible, like a really bad decision, they always have make Emma like something like if she were to go for it, it would make her look really bad. But if she doesn't go for it, make her look weak. They always have her abstain.
That's just a problem that the writers want I feel like that's just a problem that they're forcing character. Like, there's times where Storm has voted no, in moments where I believed 100% she would have voted yes. Right. So they're just trying to make discontent on that council, and they're just forcing it sometimes.
It's crazy, but yeah, Sense of the Sinister is going to be dope. I want to see what it is. Like, I'm hyped for it because Sinister has been like the most consistent X-Men villain for the better part of 3 years. Like, you
Oh,
know he's up to something.
I like him losing more than I like him winning, though. When he's losing, he panics and he
Yeah.
becomes really clever. Like when he defeated Tarn.
Yeah.
He didn't defeat Tarn, though, but he won.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
See? So he lost, but he won. And so I
But
want him to lose, and that makes him win because he's so clever and he's so smart and
Sunspot is more clever because of what he did to Iska. That's more
it's
clever.
true too. But
And she
but-
nearly erotic asphyxiated him.
but we got to remember though. What you got to think about this. What would the world be like under Sinister?
Everyone would
Okay.
look like him.
No. I mean, like, what he like? Seriously, what would he really do with that?
we've seen two timelines where he truly won, I believe, and both of them he just kind of becomes like a Crimson Crusader and going around the universe collecting DNA. He
The High
doesn't
Evolutionary?
like the High Evolutionary. He doesn't become an emperor. He becomes a traveling warlord when he wins. Seems like that's his natural progression.
I don't know. Like, I just wonder what he would do. I just want to see what he would do.
Well, actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, no. So we have two timelines. We have the Crimson Crusader, and then we have something called like the Diamond Empire. So
Right.
he does have an empire in one timeline. I think it's called like the Diamond Empire.
Okay.
Which
Yep.
involved the diamond on his forehead, most likely.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So, Judgment Day. Thoughts? How are we feeling?
Oh yeah.
Really,
This
for
one's
me,
iffy.
how everything, because I only stepped into this when Thanos' granduncle pulled the injustice move on Magneto, and we saw that he survived. And Magneto had the face I only saw in Inferno when Jonathan Hickman told him, "Hey, here's Nimrod. He just killed Xavier. Go ape shit."
Fair.
So this comic, I really liked it until I found out that I have to question almost everything in it now. So like the fact, so I don't have to explain the entire comic, but which is
Just how they say things and it doesn't happen, or
yeah, I don't know. Do we want to explain it all, or
yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
All right.
So basically, it starts with Captain America being judged by the Celestial.
Right. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Yeah.
Sinister has a smile on the entire time. So it's entirely possible this is not a true celestial judgment, which I'll be disappointed. I hope this is like I know it's still a celestial judging and we don't really have to take it seriously, but I want it to have at least some value in a judgment. And he judges Captain America as being unworthy. He calls him a failure and finds him guilty. And then the whole world panics because if you find Captain America guilty, how could anyone be not guilty? Interesting enough, he then goes on to find so then it goes to like Captain America, Tony Stark and whatnot coming up with an idea to destroy the Celestial. They decide it's too dangerous because if the Celestial blows up, it'll take like a third of the planet with it.
Right.
Sinister then, I don't know how he does it, but he like opens up his mind to Destiny for some reason, not like
yeah,
Xavier.
tell it what they're gonna do.
But he opens up to Destiny, not Xavier, not Jean. I don't know. So like
No. Xavier was already dead, so it really didn't matter.
But Jean, at least a telepath. Destiny is not telepathic. I don't know how opening your
No.
mind up to
No. Like Sinister is a telepath,
Oh
so he
shit!
can
Okay,
reach out.
sorry.
As
Okay,
you know, Sinister. He likes to put himself with all the upgrades.
You're right. You're right.
He reached out to her, and like, because really, do you really think Jean Grey would let Sinister in her head?
Good point.
She was like, "No, you don't let him in my mind. Why? Because he's a psych. Because he's a sick ass weirdo."
So it turns out that Sinister basically built the Death Star plans into the Celestial. There's a small hole that he built into it. That at the right time that hole will open up, and if you send a telepathic bomb through it, it'll kill it.
Right.
It's a Death Star. Basically, they just gotta do the run on the Death Star and hope this Eternals. So basically, all the Eternals, because you're attacking a Celestial, they have to obey one of the laws of an Eternal, and that's protect all Celestials. But if I was Icarus, wouldn't I imprison myself so I didn't turn on my friends in the middle of battle? It was a little weird.
But
this is
Icarus
all-
can break out of anything. He's got Superman strength, right?
Put him at the other side of the world, so it took him a little while to get there. There's things you could have done. Basically, they do this run on the Death Star. They succeed, blow up the Celestial. Everyone dies. Turns out, didn't actually happen. Celestial was testing everybody, and then he finds pretty much everybody in company guilty, but not everyone because so he finds Emma Frost guilty. He finds
Steve
Destiny
Rogers
Mystique.
guilty.
Who?
Rogers.
Yeah, Steve Rogers, Destiny, Mystique finds them guilty. I think that's it for now. He finds Crow innocent,
Right.
which is really interesting. The leader of the Deviants
Right.
finds him innocent.
So where are the what? So Xavier, so they're all dead. Where'd they go?
No. They're inside the mind of the Celestial.
Yeah, so Celestial just tricked them all into thinking they all died and blew up half the world. So all the humans on the planet now think the mutants sacrificed a third of the planet to kill the Celestial. And the mutants have resurrection, so they could all come back. Yet all of the, 1/3 of the planet is dead, so they're gonna hold some bad feelings towards that. Xavier is dead because it seems like he was succumbed to the Unimind. Xavier was having a 1v1 with Icarus's dad. Not worth remembering his name. Xerxes or some shit. I can't remember his name.
Right.
Basically he had a 1v1, and then it was really confusing. We don't know how Xavier dies because Icarus stabs Xerxes in the back of the head, but doesn't kill him. He just puts him in like an animated state where he cannot fight no more, but he won't die and be resurrected, killing a human. So why did Xavier die? I guess there's more people in the Unimind. It's unclear. We were told the Unimind was shut down though. Icarus shut down the Unimind by stabbing him in the back of the head. So I don't know why Xavier is dead.
Also, like the 6 perspectives. I really want to know where that one British guy's head is at. Like, he doesn't like mutants for really no reason. It comes off as hating.
They're just comedic value. I don't know. That's just stupid.
That's weird.
I don't even know how they're alive because all of the Hex have died. Each one of the Hex has died, and we were told that, or at least we were shown that when one of the Hex died, one of the 6 humans died. That all of the Hex have died at this point, and not all 6 of them have died. So 6 other humans around the planet have died because of the Hex dying.
Yeah, or no, it hasn't been. No, they haven't been resurrected yet.
No, no, you're right. It ended with the first one that died got resurrected. We don't know if the rest have been resurrected. You're correct.
Right. Because that one guy died. That one guy.
Minotaur was resurrected already, though.
Right.
So it goes on. Basically, Cersei has a plan of her own. She
Please tell me it involves her grinding people to nubs.
No.
Not necessarily not though. So basically somehow she paid Jack of Thieves or whatever, the Jack Assassin, the Eternal Assassin, who apparently can be bought out or paid with favors. Not gonna say what type of favors.
Hold on, she's stuffing Thanos' granduncle.
No.
Actually,
so
it's also Druid's granduncle. You know how Thanos called him grandfather. Druid called him grandfather too.
That is interesting. But no, I'm talking about the assassin, not Uranus. There's an assassin called like Jack of Knives.
Yeah, the guy who was with the Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah, but he implies that he'll do anything for a price. Now he doesn't say money, so a price could be favors, and Cersei is a hot chick.
Maybe
so it
maybe
could be
they can
anything.
get him to do something. They have something he wants.
But the fact is he's not loyal. So Cersei uses
He's
him
Maverick.
to break into the Eternal Machine, and then she gets into the Phantom Zone, which it doesn't have a name. Should have a name. Probably has a name, but it's not memorable like the Phantom Zone. So I call it
The
the Phantom
negative zone.
Probably negative zone. But he gets into the Phantom
Negative
Zone.
zone is taken. Annihilus' realm is the negative zone.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, they built a prison in the negative zone.
True.
Oh,
okay. It could be right. But regardless, she breaks into the machine. She breaks into the Phantom Zone or negative zone, whatever, into the prison. And I thought they were going for Thanos. I thought have Thanos fight Uranos. Badass. But no, it turns out she's going to free Star Fox.
Harry Styles.
Yeah.
I still want to see that family dinner.
So if you do a mutant machine of say Core the Burning Heart, Think, and Star Fox, all three together could create like a technology that could amplify each other and send his telepathic, because Star Fox is limited in range.
Right.
Well, isn't Eros the Eternal who never applies himself, and he's got atrophied powers, and he only uses his powers for stumping?
For love. So basically, they tell him that the world is
stumping.
Or stumping. They tell him the world is being judged, and he says, "I have the perfect plan." He's like, "All the world needs is love," and he gives a really creepy smile.
I think I know what he's about to do though.
Yeah, he's gonna mind control the world.
Everybody in the world love you. Yeah. Oh God, it's gonna be like that one episode of Rick and Morty with the toxins and
it's gonna be where they're gonna have to bring the Max label back for the final issues because every one of the characters,
not the boys.
No, every character, they're gonna be rolling and writhing little vibrating bits of gelatin on a speaker.
That is really
that's graphic.
Yeah.
Well, I said it, and don't edit it out.
I can't. I don't believe in censorship.
Yeah.
Hey, kids will learn something from this. No,
I do think this would be a good redemption arc for Star Fox if it succeeds.
Was he wearing lipstick though?
He's Celestials.
You're gonna have to make him look and dress a bit like Harry Styles too.
No, oh come on. Okay, it doesn't bother me. I'm just like, okay, all right, let's do this. I want to see where this goes.
You're okay with the Eternal creating world destroying machines, but lipstick? That's too far.
There are some things that you cannot let stand. Cannot let stand. And plus, come on, it's the Eternals. Who cares? Silver said it last week. No one gives a shit about the Eternals. No one has ever really given a shit about the Eternals.
People who still care about Jack Kirby care. And
most of them are dead.
Well, they're probably trying to make Eternals more relevant by introducing X-Men, involving them with the deviant gene. Another good theory is that it's all revolving around mutants being introduced in the MCU through the Eternals, so trying to get Eternals some more love. But I don't know. I kind of disagree that they're not. The Eternals are they're not interesting characters, but I like them as a whole.
Hold on.
Icarus has no defining, only Athena and Cersei have defining traits, and that's just sexuality. Everyone else is just a robot.
Yeah, because they are robots. The thing with but MJ, like you gotta understand, like this is part of the Marvel. The Marvel Studios wants the Eternals to be a thing. So what's the best? What they do? They put them up against the X-Men. I said this last week. The Avengers, when their big movie came out, they were doing a whole thing with the X-Men. When the Eternals were having their thing with, we're trying to be the new mutants. Pardon the pun. Like when they had that show, the humans went up against the X-Men. They made it a whole plot point of a series, and I'm just saying, like this is just part of the Marvel. Like the X-Men are the measuring stick of success. The X-Men will put them over. It's the wrestling thing. If you like Randy Orton losing to CM Punk, I don't know.
I feel like they're still hitting all the right notes. Uranus was as intimidating as we needed in this event. Druig is a perfect villain. I'm liking it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I love it too. I love it. Like I want to see what Starfox does. I want to see what he does. I'm all for it.
Speaking of Starfire, we saw Icarus rip him in half.
Ugh, jeez.
In this comic, used this
point. Her name is Firestar, man. It's Firestar.
Firestar. Yeah, you see.
Domino got ripped in half too.
Do you think she's alive? I don't know. Like, no, Starfire.
Her name is Firestar.
Firestar. Is she alive?
No, I think she's alive. Because remember, everything we saw, everything we saw.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
So everybody's okay.
You're right.
They brought everybody back by bringing everybody back.
That's so bad. That's disappointing because it was so badass seeing Icarus just pick her up and rip her in half. Like,
Icarus ripped who in half?
Icarus ripped Starfire.
Firestar, what is wrong with you?
We do not have an omniverse crossover yet. That is my dream fanfic to cook up.
Read Amazing X-Men if you want some really good Firestar. Firestar, MJ. Say it with me. Firestar.
Mickey, all right, you're just gonna have to get your belt out for this.
I think I might have to.
Get you, yeah.
Like that's Angelica Jones. She's one of the original Hellions. Like,
yeah,
and she's one of the most famous victims of Emma Frost.
Who voiced her in that original cartoon?
I have no idea.
I just know the guy who was Fred many years for Scooby-Doo voiced Iceman.
I do not know.
Is she related to Jessica Jones?
No.
The same name.
I guess it's related to Angelica.
Like, you know,
Angelica Jones was an Avenger.
Yeah.
And she was she went to the Jean Grey school. People seem to forget that.
All I'm hearing is that she's a double agent. Traitor.
She's not a cop, okay? This is not a Leonardo DiCaprio Departed moment. Oh, what if it was though? No, like it's it's a Departed. Xavier is Jack Nicholson. Actually, that would make Angelica Jones Matt Damon.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's Matt Damon.
Trying to think what, I jumped in at the last minute, so I'm like, what books did I read?
Yeah, what books did you read?
I still have Moon Knight on pre-order. I'm buying the Deceased Cycle, and bit by bit. Tom Taylor's like, I have the conclusion. It's called Rise of the Undead Gods. bad news. The whole New Genesis family got the anti-life equation zombie virus.
Oh Jesus!
And
DC,
but
are they always
but
in danger?
what?
I would hate to live in the DC universe because at any point in time, some psychopath, some dummy, no, actually worse, it's a dum dum, comes around and and destroys the universe. They have the ability to destroy the universe
Well, yeah, and
solving a simple a math equation. Solving
yeah,
a math equation.
if you
Think
remember
about that.
if you remember the Deceased Volume 1, Darkseid and Desaad were torturing Cyborg by just taking him apart and doing everything.
Oh,
They
so
cut-
they're RoboCoping him?
They
Really?
cut his tongue out to find the anti-life equation because they were convinced it was somewhere in Victor's body.
Wow, they cut off the tongue of a black cyborg. See, racism. That's what. See?
Well, but for some reason, but they did the math wrong, and something happened in the lab. Darkseid acts like he's like having a stroke or something because Darkseid didn't do the math right. He zombified the anti-life equation.
Oh.
So literally, if you would be looking at your phone, you'd start Walking Dead sounds, and you would be zombified.
Darkseid, leave it alone.
But at this point, there's a vaccine, so the reconfigured heroes have now been vaccinating everybody, and they got a big preemptive strike in the first issue.
Wait. How did this affect the rest of the universe?
I'll tell you about that in like another chat, because we're on like the conclusion, and it's already been one miniseries, 2 miniseries, 3 miniseries, 4 miniseries telling the story.
You got a full-on horseman right there.
Yeah, but Superman was zombified. He flew himself into the sun, and they got him, and they brought him back. And there was a nice scene where John wakes John. He comes to, and he's got his boy. He sees his boy again, and John brings him back to his mom, who's the president of this new refugee Earth of DC, and they see Brainiac's ship coming, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And they go in. New Genesis community got to Brainiac and turned him into what happened to Vision in Marvel Zombies.
I want to see a snarky version of a DC movie, one where they talk, where all right, hear me out. Let's say Nightwing is, in Bloodhaven doing his thing, doing the Nightwing thing, and then he sees like some intergalactic thing going down, and he just goes, "Not again," or just are like, you know what, I'm done. Like I like just kind of like a snarky, funny version where
they're kind of doing that with the Harley Quinn TV show.
That show sucks. That show sucks, bro. That is so bad. Harley's so obnoxious.
Isn't that the point?
No, it's not the point. It makes me not like Poison Ivy, and I love Poison Ivy.
It's not. Well, but isn't the point of that show is finding the truths to stretch humor out of? It's not supposed to be comic book accurate, right?
No, I'm not saying it has to be comic book accurate. I just don't like Harley the person.
I think that's the point. Like, you're not. I don't think we're supposed to like Titania too, because that's what they said. Well, that's what the actress said before she makes her debut in She-Hulk. Like, you are gonna find me very annoying.
Well, she's if you ever seen that show, The Good Place, it's kind of like she's really funny. She could play off that.
Oh
type-
yeah, I believe it. I think, I've read Titania a bit in the books, and I know she could be funny, and um yeah, all right.
There was
Uh,
one more thing I wanted to talk
I don't
about.
remember all the stuff I read. Work has been really bad, and so
Right.
I have no memory retention.
but MJ, you were saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's one thing I wanted to talk about. Judgment Last. It's like, do we want to speculate a little bit, like who else is going to be, like, I don't know if
Oh,
it's
right.
but like who he's going to be judged maybe, or
I could
um,
see, I could see Black Panther being judged.
do you think guilty or innocent though?
Of what?
We don't really know exactly. They haven't stipulated his standards of being guilty or not guilty. It seems to be based off accomplishments because Crow is not a good guy and he's being found innocent, whereas Captain America is being found guilty. So I think it's more about accomplishments. Have you held true to your beliefs?
Right.
Like, for instance, I think Storm is guilty and I think Sinister is innocent.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. I could see Cyclops being innocent.
Xavier is. I don't know about Cyclops.
No, Cyclops got everything he wanted. He got the family. He's he got his wife, got
No,
his
he
kids.
didn't get what he wanted. If he got his way, Babel would still be here,
His
not
name is
Cable
Kid
Time.
Cable, man. Babel is a tower that Ra's al Ghul used.
Cable Prime would still be Babel right now if Scott had his way.
I'm not
It
doing.
depends on whether or not. I think this is how I would argue it. It depends on whether or not the Celestial holds. So Cyclops is supposed to keep mutants in check. He's the Captain America of mutant kind.
That true.
He has done that for Krakoa. All the villains are more or less in check. But would the Celestial put him in charge of the Iraqans as well? Is he supposed to go to the Iraqans and make them submit too?
Cyclops
I don't know.
Cyclops is part of the X-Men. Now,
But it's
and
racial.
the Iraqi they can take care of themselves. That's their whole point.
Seems to be along racial lines though. Like the reason Crow is innocent is because he led his people to the golden age of his people.
Right.
A new golden age, not another
I see
golden.
what you mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Crazy.
Fantastic Four probably guilty.
Yeah.
Doom will be found. Doom will be found guilty.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't achieved his goals.
I mean, he was God King.
But he lost it, so that's a failure.
No, I mean, yeah, he did lose it. No, but Reed will be seen as innocent.
What about Apocalypse? I guess he achieved his goal in the end.
Apocalypse and Genesis aren't coming back in this. They're off somewhere, and we're only going to see cameos in the experts department of their kids.
I agree. I just think it's worth speculating.
We're not going to see Big Blue Granddaddy. I'm sorry.
It's possible because everyone wants Thanos versus Apocalypse. That's been a popular matchup in the fandom
for years. That's why nobody's ever picked up on it.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Like, well, wait, who's older?
I can see them becoming friends though.
Well, who's older, Thanos or Apocalypse?
Thanos, I think.
The Eternals have been retconned to be 1,000,000 years old.
Apocalypse is like 2000.
He's as old as ancient Egypt, so 2,000 or 3,000, give or take.
Right.
3,000, 4,000.
Yeah, he's up. He's old.
Yeah, because Jesus was around 2,000 years ago, and Egypt was already
a thing. Yeah. No. So, all right. So, MJ, your speculation?
Yeah, no, I think I said it already. I just said that. No, I said it already. Just that I think that. No, I don't think I speculated. No,
No, I like Marauders better than I like Judgment Day this week.
Yeah, that was interesting. I did read this. I'm like, okay, Xavier. Although it's a high octane story, Xavier's with one of his kids. He was talking
Only child.
normal-ish, and I thought like Deathbird was like, okay, click click, where's my niece? Where's my
Yeah.
niece? And I'm like,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I didn't. No. Finish. Sorry. Go.
Dakin nearly gutted somebody.
No, but he got that Fang trophy.
Yeah,
His
that
father
looks
did.
like something Sabretooth had in like many costumes.
No. This is from the alien race though. Like this is like old Claremont X-Men.
All right.
Like you gotta go back.
They confirmed that the symbiote has an X gene. That was interesting.
Oh yeah. A symbiote got to hook onto Cassandra Nova, and I thought she would look way more terrifying.
Although she looks like Michelle Williams in the first Venom movie.
Previously, they said that symbiote was a mutant, but I thought it was a mutant like Crow is a mutant, just a little different than his race. This could mean that Crow has an X gene too, maybe.
A lot of things have an X gene.
Yeah. I thought it was red though. I thought the mutant symbiote was red. I don't know why it's black now.
It's crazy.
Carnage symbiote.
So all right, so next week, all right, so you guys, so next week we got 5 X books coming out. Anybody know?
I'm pulling them up right here.
There was one last thing that we should probably talk about real quick. We talked about before we started the podcast. I think we forgot to mention is it could be retcon. Well, it could be this all illusion,
right?
But it seems like the deviants have an X gene.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, isn't that the point? Deviant gene.
Well, it was unclear whether or not mutants had a deviant gene or if deviants had an X gene. You know what I mean? Like
change deviants.
It's basically confirming that what makes them similar is the X gene. Deviants have an X gene. They pass through the gate of Krakoa.
Mutant deviants.
People have been fuming about this online, coming up with all sorts of justifications, all sorts of headcanons. One of the most popular ones I've been seeing is that they're claiming Emma invited them, and humans can pass through a gate if you're invited. So because she invited them, they could pass through the gate. No,
I haven't heard of any of this stuff because all the student loan stuff is drowning out all of the other news in my end of social media.
No, like with Emma, you go like you're right, MJ. With Emma Frost, you always gotta like look at it twice and not believe what you see because if you come into her house and you think you're gonna have a great evening, what really happened is you were just walk around in circles in the front room for an hour.
It's possible that Crow didn't know how the gate functioned and didn't realize that Emma had invited him, and that's why he could pass through the gate. The writer, though, maybe that's what the writer wanted us to believe, but maybe that is subtly what the writer wants us to believe. But the obvious thing the writer wants us to believe is what Crow said, and that is the reason I could pass through the gate is because we share the X gene. So that's been established. The only way you could pass through the gate, uninvited, is with an X gene. You could graft the X gene onto your body. You can hide inside of an X gene and stuff like that. There's things you can sneak in.
Mutant other races, mutant in all species. I get it. I mean, we've already seen that a version of that back in 2000 when Chris Claremont first came back to the X-Men. He introduced the concept of mutant scrolls.
Yep.
Like mutants across the galaxy.
I definitely want more alien mutants. That'd be awesome.
I want to see
People
those scrolls again.
people really don't want, like, a good chunk of people don't want mutants to be related to deviants. I don't know why they don't want that, but
Makes
they
sense
basically,
though.
when it does make sense to me, but to them though, they want, when Druig said there's a large amount of deviants on Krakoa, they want that to actually mean that Krakoa itself is the deviant, and all the mutants are just being accidentally mixed in with it,
Right.
which could be the case. We don't know the origin of Krakoa. He could be a deviant.
A, a land deviant.
We just don't know his origin.
Too meta, too boring.
Right. So next week we got Knights of X, the final issue. X-Force.
Amazing Fantasy 1000s. Peter Parker is officially 60 years old now.
Yeesh. And still in great shape.
You know we're gonna
Yeah.
get more Excalibur. Come on now.
No, yeah, Knights of X 5. X-Force 31. This has been I like this. I like this one. And X-Men 14.
Yeah, X-Men, X-Force, Knights of X. The Thunderbolts is being reauthorized. Clint Barton's leading the a Thunderbolts team.
That makes sense. Seems like right up his alley.
You named three. What are the other two?
Oh, X-Force and X-Men.
Isn't that only three? Knights of X, X-Force, X-Men.
Yes.
Oh, so just three coming out next week. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That sucks. Only one Judgment Day.
No, they're all. I think they're all tied in the Judgment Day.
No,
that's what it says on League. X-Force and X-Men are tied to Judgment Day.
They would have to pause the whole storyline they're doing in X-Force.
Or they're in the middle of or they make it part of it.
Yeah, they'd have to pause what they're doing in X-Force and just be like, nope, Wolverine is not hunting down Kid Omega. He's not doing this. He's actually, because he is. Wolverine is in Judgment Day, but we're seeing.
But we gotta remember though, he wasn't. That was an illusion.
No, but we saw him in a couple chapters ago. He tracked down Jack of, he smelt the blood on Jack of Knives' blade or whatever.
Right, yeah, him, yeah.
So he's in Judgment Day, so it doesn't make sense that he could be off on a mission on X-Force. So X-Force has to take place either before or after. I say after because it's the same with Magic. Magic's blade is black, not gold, so
Right.
it takes place before Judgment Day. Her comics take place after Judgment Day. The New Mutant comic takes place after Judgment Day, which implies they win, I guess.
Yeah, if they don't have before and after this, but wait a second, isn't like the titles at the end of each of the X-Force books, is that literally their lame excuse for this happened before this boxes on each page?
No, kind of sometimes it is relevant, but so far they have not explained where New Mutants and X-Force take place in the timeline.
Yeah, I think they would say, well, it's your job to read all that and figure it out for yourself.
It's
afterwards. At some point, Magic is going to summon her blade, and it's going to be gold, and we're like, okay, so her events took place between this and this. Kid Omega will return at some point, and we'll be like, okay, so this took place between this and this, right?
You know what? See, all right. I gotta have an announcement to make, you guys. I'm going to actually date the entire X-Men continuity from Uncanny to X-Men Now, all of it, because I saw Jordan White said that Cyclops and the original X-Men are still like in their 20s. I'm like, since when? They're like in their 30s.
Yeah, like literally, if we if we had control over the head cannon.
No, this isn't head cannon. I don't use head cannon. Like
Are
I just
they-
piece things
Is
together.
this guy interpreting their age in the books?
Oh yes,
No,
I can do it. I can do it.
Gene and the original X, they're all, and
You can get very close. You're not going to get 100%.
in
No,
my head, they're like almost as old as my parents, mid to late 40s, early 50s to me.
No, what?
There's so many.
That's too old. Okay, that's
There's so many contributing factors here. Like they've been dead at points and then resurrected, so you got a minus a couple of years. There's been times where they've been flooded with Phoenix energy. Am I to believe the Phoenix energy did not de-age him 5 years? It's the fucking Phoenix.
but
you know?
also I can with that also those are things I'm going to factor into it, but I'm also going to factor into like series like like arcs. Okay, what okay, all right, so if let's say if I was trying to track X of Swords, a lot of that they explicitly said all that happened in a week. But
Mhm.
in our perspective, that was like 3 to 4 months.
Mhm.
So like I'll take that into account. Like, okay, Wolverine's in the middle of an 8-issue arc. All that happened in one day.
I think that is still important to keep in consideration. More importantly, though, would be like the times the comics reference real world events.
Right.
That'll really, because like we hardly ever get. Sometimes we see a newspaper will have a date on it. That's very rare.
Right.
More likely, we'll see a speech or Trump
or so, like some sort of like logo from like a contemporary. Yeah, I know.
some COVID references, shit like that.
Yeah,
Date it.
that's my thing though. I want to show that I want to be judged worthy by the celestial. I want to complete my goal.
I would love to know what dates particular events took place on, and the rough ages of people, especially the younger people. I want to know like mostly. I'm gonna, I want to know who I can fanfic with.
Okay, all
Like,
right. Here's it. Okay,
is X-23 old enough that I can fanfic with? I don't know.
X-23 is about 19.
Okay, so it's close. See, that's why I need to know.
Like, all
Like,
right,
someone
but like off the top of my head, I know how old these characters.
Pixie looks like she's 17, but my
Okay, then
understanding,
give
she's
me
like,
the age. All right, then McElroy, give us the age range of all of Logan's kids.
Okay, Gabby is 8. Akiro, Dakin, he's like 26, and
No, he'd be.
he's young.
Wouldn't he be early 30s?
No, he's mid to late 20s.
So would Gabby be 8, but in an older body? Her body is not 8. So like, is there maybe her mind is 8, and is
Yeah,
just
her
her body
mind is 8.
22?
Yeah, her mind is 8, and Laura is 19. Like, if you're going with the original X-Men, Scott, Jean, Archangel, and Beast are all 37 years old.
Does X-23 have a similar thing though, where her body is a little older than her mind? Like, did they
No,
rapidly develop her body at all?
No,
They didn't rapidly age them at all in any.
no, not like that.
Um,
Because remember, she aged during the when she was in the vault with Sync.
right, but I know she was born a child. Like they started them as infants. I just thought maybe the gestation. I know it's a weird word. Gestation period between like 1 and like 12. Maybe that rapidly grows for that clone. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the healing factor does de-age you a little bit. So like,
well, do you think the healing factor would age you though a little bit? Like since you're
no, because
no.
Wolverine's like 200 years old, but he looks like he's like 30 something, 30, 40.
Right.
All right, Cory, give me another one, man. I know you got one.
All right.
The one I mentioned was Pixie. She
Oh,
looks 17,
Pixie.
but I think
Oh,
she's like
Pixie
20,
is
like 22. I think she's getting involved in orgies, so she has to be older than 18.
she's
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
No, like she was one of the younger New Mutants, and a lot of the new X-Men, they're like early to mid-20s right now.
All right. So technically, all of us would be in the New Mutants age range. Well, taking you out of the equation, maybe.
Actually, okay. All right, so if we're going to go with the New Mutants, they're like they're about early 30s.
Yeah. So MJ and I's age.
Right.
Almost.
The
So
older,
then,
the older X-Men, they're about like late 30s, early 40s.
all right. And then the Rasputin. How about the Rasputin siblings individually?
Okay, Ileana is 22.
Okay.
Well, 22 body, but like a 50-year-old mind. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Colossus is 34.
A giant 34-year-old.
And Mikael, he's like 43. Because you got to remember, like, with
I don't count him because I haven't met him yet.
but like Mikael was already, when we first met Colossus, like Mikael was already a cosmonaut. And like a Colossus was like 18 years old when and Ileana was like 4.
They must have
Whoa,
probably only killed her father or something.
Wow, Mr. and Mrs. Rasputin, way to go for spacing out these kids really bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Probably-
So really, all the inaugural X class is all the same age.
Not, yeah, because you got to remember, no, except for Iceman. Iceman is 35.
The fact is, they were
16.
What do you call those schools that you go
Boarding
to?
schools.
Boarding schools, and they went from what, like grade 1 to 12.
Yeah, they did one of those. Or at least that was what the perception was.
So they would have to be somewhere in that age range to be at the school. They weren't teachers yet, so all the original X-Men were in the same few class periods.
Right, and also like they didn't like they were like early 20s when the New Mutants got around. Mm-hmm. Like the New Mutants were like, okay, Cannonball was like 15 when they started. Rain, okay, yeah, like the original X-Men had the Mutants by like 6 years. But like the thing with the Xavier School, because it's an accredited school, like you go there, you become it. You got your you graduate high school, right? And you basically and you got a college degree.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Basically, how I imagine
Xavier's 55.
When Cyclops was in grade 12, I imagine Iceman was in grade 10, and then when Iceman was in grade 12, Magic was in grade 10. So 3 years apart. So 3, 3, 3.
Yeah,
I kind of maybe.
No, actually, it'd be no.
Less.
But no, like when, yeah, it'd be less because, Iceman was 18 when like Iceman was full like when the second generation X-Men showed up, he had turned 18. So I would say like 5 years. Like when Iceman was in 12th grade, Ileana was probably in 6th.
Oh wow. Okay, so it would be more like 9, 10 years between Cyclops and so Magic might have been like grade 1 or 2.
Right, exactly. Like also Havoc. Havoc is the same age as Havoc, Iceman, and Polaris are all the same age. They're 35.
Gabriel Summers.
Gabriel Summers is like 29.
My age.
It shows he's afraid of turning 30.
Because
That's why he's always saying,
you got to
"I
remember
didn't
though, when we first saw Cyclops and Havoc's origin story, what happened with their parents in the plane crash, they were already walking and talking. They were not toddlers. They were already in school.
Oh yeah. It's just I'm like, wow. So how old was little Gabriel when he basically claimed the Shi'ar realm and
He was
stuck Deathbird.
okay.
That's
Actually,
really
no. Actually, MJ, you what you said. His mind, his body is 29, but in his mind, he's like 13.
Oh my. Whoa,
Oh no! I said no. By this point, 16. He's 16.
What happened there?
Because he was. Remember, you got to remember, he was aged up. Like
How?
he was
By who?
by the Shi'ar.
Was he sent through time or something? So
No. He was just aged up genetically.
So he's like a real baby brother, like a real baby brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cyclops and Havoc's mother was pregnant with him. It was like 3rd month.
Cyclops and everyone would have to already be like 15 years old when Gabriel was born. Then
no, younger. I say 8 and 6.
For him to be 16 plus 6, that's 21. So no, he would have to be the times aren't adding up unless Gabriel was kept in stasis or something.
He was. He was kept in stasis because of Professor X and Krakoa.
All right, and he was. So okay, so if he was aged up by the Shi'ar, so how did they find him?
Oh, because remember, when the Shi'ar abducted the Summers family,
yeah,
Mrs. Summers was already pregnant.
Yeah,
and
they basically
ripped him out of her.
They took I'll say it PG wise, they took a concubine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
They wanted some mutant snoo.
But yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna start doing. That I'm gonna like really get it. Like Xavier's in.
Hold on.
So is Magneto.
We have the elephant in the room here.
Go for it.
Max Eisenhart.
Oh, he's okay. He was born. Now he's about 100 years old. Like,
all right.
He was born in 1919, so he's about 103 years old. But he's with Magneto though. He's been aged a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I want you. I want you to write like the mental age of people as well as the age of their bodies, because like Xavier is like a 20-year-old body right now.
Yeah, that is true. No, but the thing with Magneto, his powers kind of keep him young. That's something we have like anytime. Like he's
explained, please.
Okay, the Magneto sphere in our on our planet, he gets power off of it, and my theory is that it also keeps him young.
At least,
or young-ish. Like
he might have an old body, but it keeps his vitality young for sure.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, because like for the first traits of Sword, Magneto looked very much like this is how you should look at stuff. Like not a really old face, but a weathered face.
Yeah, so he's seen a lot.
This is headcanon for me, but like they're Homo superior. I can't believe that Homo superior. So yes, they're different because of their powers, but I would find it really odd if they don't also have some form of longevity. Not permanent longevity, but like 200 years, 300 years. I would say that's they
I
should
mean,
just recommend it for
Cyclops.
longevity.
I mean, Cyclops is like he has enough. He has enough kids to like. He's okay. No,
All right. Well then, okay. So Apocalypse and Apocalypse and Genesis, 2,000 years old range, as old as the Egyptian civilization. Really easy there.
The entire second generation of mutants is thousands of years old. It's
Yeah.
unknown why. Apocalypse probably just formed a group of all the most powerful mutants of that generation, and they all happen to have longevity.
Selene is
I mean, it's like
recorded.
10. She's 10,000.
I thought she was recorded to have shown up in the ancient Roman times.
Yeah,
No, she's like she's prior Roman. She's like the people the Roman religions are based off of, like
right.
even older, like Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
Mesopotamia.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that and Rave and Mystique and Destiny are essentially they're almost the same age as Logan because they're all.
No, actually, Mystique is like 80. She's like 80. Her powers keep her looking a certain.
Well, we
but,
saw Mystique, Destiny, and Sinister in like 1920.
Yeah.
So if it's 2020 today.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. 90. Like she.
But no,
like,
but then again,
she's over 100 years old.
No, but she could die and be resurrected in a younger body. We don't fucking.
That's true too. That is true.
And Sinister's a Victorian. Sinister's a Victorian.
That's why your dating is mostly. I'm more excited for the fact that I'll know like the mental ages of people,
right?
Less than their bodies, because fucking resurrection kind of throws a lot of that out of the gate. Like Wanda, she's basically lost 50 years of her lifespan. She's basically 50 years younger, or maybe not 50. I don't know, but I don't know how long time spans work. But she's in like a 10-year younger body now.
Yep. There you go. Okay, you guys, it's we got new X books next week. X-Force, new X-Men, sorry. And the final issue of Knights of X.
Hopefully we learn what the Siege of Perilous is, and hopefully it's something cool. Hopefully Cable comes back, more powerful than ever.
No, it's gonna be tepid because Teeny Howard's double
Apocalypse shows up at the end.
Imagine Cable. He's now a mega level.
If she brings Big Blue Mr. and Mrs. Apocalypse back, then she might have my attention again. But I'm already like, you're already double dipping, trying to get all this money, which is, you're right, get your money. But your Catwoman's tepid, and
you are not a good writer, miss.
The art is good, but just go to the indie firms and train more.
Jeez. Okay.
Indie firms and train more.
I want to say something. So I want Cable to come back and have some type of power that when Destiny looks at him, she sees the future and is like, "Oh my God, he's gonna fix everything." Like I want her just to be like, because she hates Cable. So I want Cable to be what she needs, and that'd just be hilarious.
Okay, I want to see that too. All right, Master Jarl, Cory on 1407. We connect the dots so you don't have to. We don't use headcanon. Everything works. All right. We'll see you soon.